August 25th, Thursday, Stan Ehrlich. We started to close that gap we talked about for the last few days. I'll talk about that first. We'll see if it can continue the rally. And then what? There's some specific trades that I wanted to show you, and our current and or potentially new ERSignal trades. So let's get right into it. The S&P 500 this morning, and the current time is 9 o'clock California time. Opened a little higher, managed to hold on to the gains, although a little bit of a dip first, and then rushed up very quickly to close some of the gap that we have now, not as much of, but it needs to get to the low of Friday, 421.22 or close, or maybe a little bit beyond, but around 421.22, and close that gap if it's going to happen. Remember, I am claiming that this could be a breakaway gap which is less likely to be closed. Hey, we've got some of it closed already. So that's where we are. A very identical situation on the Qs. The DIA is having a big problem rallying. All it did was get to the high of the day before yesterday, nowhere near the bottom of the gap, which the Qs have closed some of, and the spiders closed some of. But the 2000, which was much closer in the first place, and had already started to close its gap somewhat 2 days ago, a little more yesterday, and today finished. So the gap is closed plus some more on the 2000. Got a little resistance a little higher, so maybe it'll get up the resistance if the other indexes have enough strength to close the gap also, maybe not. I'd be very prepared to go short if you get your favorite kind of sell signal or can justify it with, of course, good money management, period. I wanted to show you some of our current signals that have been filled or not filled. This morning we bought KBH because we had a bullish engulfing, etc., yesterday, an ER buy signal. Got it very early in the day. The stop has come up very nicely, and we're still holding on 73-cent profit at the moment. That was KBH. We have not bought yet AGL. We have a bid in at 21.36. We'll see what happens. Remember, that's good for 3 days, tomorrow and the next day, and then it's dead after that. Next, same story here, 94.83 bid, unable so far. Next, we are long at 64.65 approximately. It looks like a slight bit higher than that. So the line is red, being an equity plot, and we're losing 67 cents at the moment with a stop at 62.99 and a risk of $1.72. Maybe a bit much. I'd actually be inclined, if I was trading this, to tighten up my stop by changing an input and raising it up underneath these two lows. Less of a risk. I think that would be a good move, but I do not change the parameters on these strategies. Explanation point, they are what they are, and they've been making money for a couple of years on the average. Track record to prove it. CCXI, minor mistake. It's losing 17 cents. I don't know what to do with this damn thing. Unable second day, hasn't rallied enough. Sorry, I made my RSI a little too big on this chart. Hasn't rallied up enough to go short. Kind of going sideways. A few more signals. Bought the break this morning when it came down to the bid, which was in its second day. Today was the second day. Yesterday was the first day. It could have gotten filled, didn't. And the signal was the day before that. So this was the second day. Got filled on the break. Not too bad. Making 92 cents. Probably also on the day trade scalp version. I don't see any reason why the scalp version would have gotten stopped out yet either. So that's 92 bucks twice. Next, short from a couple days ago, KR, 79-cent profit. STS is now locking in 36 cents. So far so good. Next, unable second day. Next, Bought it near the lows of the day yesterday, very early in the morning. STS started to move up significantly yesterday to lock in a profit, and with the opening being strong this morning and a sharp rally right away, we were able to raise our stop enough to take a profit. We are stopped out an hour or so ago. This was a profitable trade to the tune of $2.75. Not bad. End of story. Same kind of story here. CRSP. Yep, crisp without the I. Bought it on a sharp break yesterday morning, extremely close to the low of the day. This is a whopper. This is a really good one. Rode it up during the day. Day trade scalp version also made some good money, and we're stopped out today. This one made $4.22. I believe the scalp version made $4.47, I think. We sold it short this morning. This was the second day after the signal. We have something called baby blue. Once you hit the sell short signal line, or we call trigger line, it's not an automatic short. Usually it gets filled almost immediately within a minute or two. But don't you want to sell at higher and higher and higher prices for any method whatsoever? Our method will allow the market to rally even more to a higher price before we sell short. It doesn't change the signal. It doesn't change what we want to do. All it does is get you into a higher price short sale. So far at the moment, that's paying off because we have a nickel profit. Otherwise, we'd have a loss. Good move. Don't know how this is going to come out. Risk is $1.02. Next. We bought it yesterday morning early when it went below the bid on the green. That would be the first day that we wanted to buy it. Bought it immediately. Made some very good money, went all the way back down, and in this particular case, my comment would have been to have been raised the stop during the day significantly. The automated system does what it does. You've seen some great ones. This one's not particularly, and it made, I think, a very small nickel or something on this trade in the end. Disappointed in the results, 2 cents. So at least it wasn't a loss. Bought it this morning, losing its rear end right away. But when that sharp rally happened in the overall indexes, boom, it popped into a significant profit. The scalp version probably either got stopped out with a small loss on this initial break. That might have been a little bit much for it. If it managed not to get stopped out on that break low, then it would have risen, or the STS would have rose, the yellow line, very sharply, and probably during this break we would have taken a profit. Next. But right now the overnight version's got a $26 profit. Wow, okay. Bought it right after the opening, shot straight up, never looked back, hardly had a loss, ended up taking something like $1.90. $1.92. And the day trade scalp version certainly would have done at least as good, if not a little bit better. There's no doubt about that. And that's a double. That much profit on both of those trades. Unable. Can't get down low enough to fill the bid. Same story. And here we are back to KBH. We're still long. Good trade in progress. And that's it. Thank you very much. We'll do something like this, maybe a little shorter time frame in the near future. Have a good day.